What's up, Barefoot Nation? Have you guys ever wondered how the professionals design water features? Well, if you have, stay tuned and I'm gonna show you exactly how they do that. Let's go! Alright, so before I get into the new water feature, I want to show you guys what I did wrong with this one. So when you're building garden ponds, you need to have good circulation and what's called cross flow. The main problem with this pond, you'll notice to the left of the waterfall going into the pond is this large dead area. So there is nothing in here to circulate the water and push all of the leaf debris into the skimmer. That's the main problem. When you're talking about koi ponds, koi will get very large in time. So this is a good pond for baby koi. They're gonna need a pond with a greater width so that a 3-foot fish can comfortably swim. Another problem as far as design is concerned with the pond is sitting here on the patio, the water is too far away from the destination spot. Guys, if you can bring the water right up to the patio or where your seating area or a window, especially if it's next to the foundation of a house, because it's a liner pond, the water is not gonna damage it. Then you get wavy watermarks on your ceiling, or in this case, this pond puts wavy watermarks on the trees, the tree that's above it. So as far as what you have planted in your beds, I stopped the pond is going to be right at where these hostas are. It's going to stop right there. So the clumping bamboo is a plant that does not like to have its roots disturbed, and once it's established, it pretty much should be left there. Hostas are easy to dig up and divide. It's not going to hurt them at all. But if you were to do that, if you were to ignore the design fact with any plants like a bamboo or a shrub or that you really like, or something similar that doesn't like to be moved around, that's going to be an important factor about siting your pond. So another pro tip as far as designing water features is concerned is use as big of a rock as you can manage. So what that's going to do is create the look that the water has eroded or washed away all the small stone and only left behind the rocks that it couldn't move with the force of water. So if you'll notice, a lot of these rocks, and I have my phone case there for scale, a lot of the rocks here are what would be considered a cobble, and what a cobble is usually about a softball sized or slightly larger type stone. There's really only a handful of small boulders. The view from indoors is not the best. This waterfall here should be completely visible, notwithstanding the bamboo right there. But you should have your waterfalls facing a window so that it's not only audible from the house, but also you can see the waterfall. So that's as easy as just turning that biofalls so that it faces the house. And maybe if you have multiple viewpoints, like most people would with their water features, maybe you do have one waterfall going this way, but you want to have another one. The one advantage is that little waterfall right there going into the pond is more or less facing the house. So that is a redeeming quality. Having a waterfall that's visually big enough right here, that's one thing that I would do differently, is it's not really a feature waterfall, so to speak. Another problem with this koi pond here is the skimmer is all the way over there. So even though it's not a far walk to maintain it, when you guys are designing your water features, or your ponds in this case, right here would be a perfect location for a skimmer because the patio is right there. So it'll be super easy to just empty out the skimmer basket. So the maintenance is going to get done more because it's easier to access that. If there's another point I can stress, it's not to get too attached to your design on paper if you do one. Because this design that you see here has changed so much since springtime. I mean, you'll see in a minute, but it's almost impossible to get into specifics as far as the pond is concerned. So basically what you should design is like what's called a bubble drawing. And that's basically just a rough sketch. Like, okay, I want the pond to be this shape, and you know, the skimmer is gonna go here, but even that could change. And I mean, take a look at the difference, guys. This waterfall here is completely different. There's only supposed to be one little choked down spillway into the pond, but on the fly I decided to make it a split falls, and I aborted the whole concept of a long stream winding through that garden bed. And actually, scrapping the idea for the long stream going through there means that my overflow did not have to be some jerry-rigged thing that's in the middle of the pond as I have in the picture right there. And it allowed me to use the proper swivel pipe that Aquascape gives you, because I did not have this attachment here being used for a pump. Instead, the overflow goes through under that path and empties out and waters the hosta when when the pond gets too full. Another thing you'll notice, guys, that did not change from the drawing, because this is critical, is the cross flow in this pond is still perfect, because you'll notice that the waterfall goes along the whole edge there and feeds into the skimmer. And the skimmer is actually right there underneath that fake rock lid. And so water lilies like still water, but it's not moving fast enough to harm the water lilies. So if you notice, this little bit of rock work right here on this wall is actually an area of mixed grades of stone that are blended together to create a natural looking edge or stone wall. But really, it's kind of hard to tell where the big rocks are and where the little rocks are, because of how it's naturalized and how the plants really soften and kind of blur the lines with these boulders. Which, the fact that the plants, in addition to their crucial role in filtration, add so much aesthetic appeal to ponds, there's no reason really not to have a lot of plants in your pond. Alright guys, I hope you learned something. I hope that now you guys can design your ponds like pros. If you haven't, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. Drop a like if you liked it. There it is. And also leave all of your comments, questions, feedback, and all that good stuff down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, y'all. I'll see you on the next one.